Let's talk about the big one, the one that tackles a core vulnerability in AI. Google DeepMind just delivered a monumental upgrade, tackling a major flaw in how chatbots think. For too long, AI models have been trained to deliver answers we like, often using something called a reward model. The problem? These reward models frequently get it wrong. They might give a high score just because an answer is longer, or sounds pleasant, or uses fancy formatting, even if it's completely inaccurate or useless. Imagine an AI prioritizing politeness over truth. That's the challenge. To fix this, DeepMind, in collaboration with researchers from McGill University and Mila, developed a revolutionary system called CROME. That stands for Causally Robust Reward Modeling. But what truly matters is its genius approach. Instead of merely training models on random examples, CROME taught the AI the crucial difference between what genuinely makes an answer good, like being factual and logical, and what merely looks good on the surface, such as being polite or long-winded. They achieved this by creating pairs of answers. Some pairs featured causal augmentations, where important elements like factual correctness were altered. Others used neutral augmentations, changing only the style or tone without touching the core facts. By showing the model both kinds and training it to react only when the quality truly changed, the AI learned to focus on the important stuff and ignore the distractions. They even used Gemini 2.0 itself to generate these examples, guided by a high-quality human-curated dataset called ultra-feedback. To put CROME to the ultimate test, they applied it to 3 different language models: Gemma 2.9 billion, Qwen 2.57 billion, and a smaller Gemma 2.2 billion. They ran these through rigorous challenges, including RewardBench to assess answer ranking, RewardBench, which added sneaky distractions to test focus, and WildGuard test, to check the model's safety with dangerous or harmful prompts. The results were nothing short of astonishing. CROME significantly enhanced the model's accuracy, particularly in crucial areas like safety, which saw an improvement of about 13%, and reasoning, up by around 7%. Even when tests attempted to trick the model with complex or misleading styling, CROME consistently outperformed traditional reward models. Furthermore, when presented with multiple answers to choose from, CROME was demonstrably better at avoiding harmful content without becoming overly cautious or restrictive. The big takeaway here is profound. CROME teaches AI to focus on the essence of an answer, ignoring the superficial fluff. This paves the way for future chatbots that are not just more helpful, but fundamentally more honest and safer. Now, let's put this into perspective. Remember when self-driving cars felt like something out of a sci-fi movie back in 2019? Today, over 400,000 Teslas are driving themselves every single day. And while many weren't paying attention, AI adoption has exploded by a staggering 270% in just 3 years. Companies that were once skeptical are now seeing a 15% boost in productivity, compared to their competitors thanks to AI integration. McKinsey predicts that AI will add a colossal $13 trillion to the global economy by 2030. But it also forecasts that 375 million people will need to switch careers, and these new roles will demand serious AI skills. This isn't a trend, it's a transformation. And that's precisely why I'm excited to invite you to an exclusive, free 2-day live AI training by Outskill. Normally priced at $895, this is now completely free for my audience. This isn't some boring lecture. It's 16 hours of immersive, hands-on learning, spread across Friday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You'll learn prompt engineering, master over 20 powerful AI tools, automate your workflow, analyze data without code, use AI in Excel and PowerPoint, generate videos and images with AI, and even build tools without writing a single line of code. You can also create your own AI agents. It's designed for professionals in tech, business, marketing, HR, sales, and more. People from over 40 countries have already joined, and if you're serious about growing with AI, you definitely should too. Click the link in the description to grab your free seat now, and don't forget to join their WhatsApp community for updates. The intro session starts Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be there. Now, while Google DeepMind focused on aligning AI answers with human values, researchers at Shanghai Jiao Tong University pursued a different kind of power, raw thinking ability. They aimed for models that can tackle complex problems, especially in mathematics, using proper step-by-step reasoning, often called chain of thought. We've seen that models like DeepSeek Math and SimpleRL have benefited from reinforcement learning when trained to think in steps. This trick worked well on the Qwen family of models, but when applied to models from the Llama family, something unexpected happened. Instead of getting smarter, Llama's answers just became incredibly long, up to 4,000 tokens, without actually becoming more accurate. The team realized the real issue wasn't reinforcement learning itself, but how the base model had been trained beforehand. Their fix? A brilliant two-phase training plan they call Stable Then. Decay. In the first phase, they trained the model on 200 billion tokens of high-quality math data from a mix called MegaMath Web Pro. Once that training leveled out, they split the model into 3 distinct branches, continuing to train each with different types of math and reasoning questions, about 20 billion tokens per branch. They named this new model family OctoThinker, as each version focuses on a different kind of thinking. The long branch keeps all the detailed reasoning steps, the short branch trims it down, and the hybrid finds a middle ground. It's like giving the model 3 different study styles to see which performs best. They tested all 3 OctoThinker versions on a battery of well-known math benchmarks, including GSM-8K, Math 500, Olympia Bench, and even the American Math Competition from 2023. Across the board, every OctoThinker version outperformed the original Llama model by at least 10%. The long version even matched Qwen's performance, which is incredibly impressive given Qwen's reputation for strong step-by-step reasoning. The biggest win? OctoThinker didn't fall into that long and messy answer trap. Its answers remained clean and focused, while regular Llama simply rambled on when put through reinforcement learning. The researchers say this demonstrates that if you train the base model correctly first, reinforcement learning can genuinely build upon that foundation and improve performance, rather than just making things noisier. Looking ahead, they aim to expand OctoThinker with even more advanced abilities, like plugging in Scratchpad tools or math checkers. They're also pushing for larger, cleaner math datasets, as most current ones are still under 100 billion tokens. The ultimate goal is to build models that are ready for smart reasoning right out of the box, without needing extra patchwork training later. Now, news of smarter models naturally sparks a hiring frenzy, and Meta is racing hard to catch up. Mark Zuckerberg just announced Meta Superintelligence Labs in an internal memo that was made public. This freshly minted group consolidates all of Meta's frontier AI work under one roof. The company spent a multi-billion-dollar package to lure Alexander Wang away from Scale AI, handing him the Chief AI Officer badge. Former GitHub Chief Executive Nat Friedman joins as a partner, and 11 other senior researchers from Anthropic, Google DeepMind, OpenAI, and similar powerhouses signed on after receiving offers rumored to sit well within the 8-figure range. Meta also explored acquisitions of Mira Murati's Thinking Machines Lab, the search engine startup Perplexity, and Ilya Sutskever's Safe Superintelligence venture, though none of those talks reached the binding offer stage. Inside the memo, Zuckerberg stated that the lab will start research on our next generation of models to get to the frontier in the next year or so, signaling that Meta aims to leapfrog, rather than merely match the state-of-the-art. Given this intense talent arms race, a lab stocked with ex-Anthropic and ex-DeepMind talent makes Meta's comeback bid look incredibly serious. Microsoft, for its part, chose medicine as the proving ground for multi-agent AI coordination. Mustafa Suleyman's AI division unveiled the MAI Diagnostic Orchestrator, nicknamed MAI DXO, calling it a tangible step toward medical superintelligence. This orchestrator functions like a debate panel. It queries several leading foundation models: OpenAI's GPT, Google's Gemini, Anthropic's Claude, Meta's Llama, and XI's Grok, then masterfully blends their answers into a single cohesive plan. The team pulled 304 real case studies from the New England Journal of Medicine and built the sequential diagnosis benchmark, which meticulously walks through the classic clinical sequence: note symptoms, decide which test to order, evaluate results, and repeat until a diagnosis clicks. On these cases, MAI DXO achieved roughly 80% diagnostic accuracy, and a astounding 4 times better than a panel of human doctors barred from consulting external references. Even better, the orchestrator trimmed costs by about 1/5 because it tended to pick cheaper scans and blood panels when possible. MIT's David Sontag and Scripps researcher Eric Topol praised the study's rigor, but cautiously warned that true proof requires a live clinical trial, where physicians and AI tackle real patients, head-to-head. Microsoft hasn't solidified commercialization plans yet, but insiders hint at Bing integrations for consumer self-triage and professional tools that could automate parts of patient, say, workups. To build this system, the company quietly poached several high-profile researchers from Google, underscoring just how heated the talent market has become. Hardware isn't standing still either. At the Human Car Home Showcase in Beijing, Xiaomi entered the smart glasses arena with a pair that leans on their in-house assistant, Super Xia AI. Under the hood sits a Qualcomm AR1 chip, plus a Hangswan 2700 co-processor. A 12-megapixel ultra-wide camera lets wearers snap photos or shoot first-person video, and these glasses can translate text or identify objects in real time. You can even confirm an Alipay purchase with nothing more than a glance and a voice confirmation. The battery measures 263 mAh and promises 8.6 hours of use, absolutely dwarfing the Ray-Ban Meta collaboration, which tops out near 4 hours on a much smaller cell. Sound comes through open-ear stereo speakers, and 5 microphones handle voice commands. The frames weigh a mere 40 grams and carry an IP54 splash resistance rating. The arms pivot 12 degrees outward and tilt 5 degrees forward, a geometry specifically tuned for typical Asian facial contours. Electrochromic lenses darken in about 0.2 of a second when you double-tap the temple. Color choices span classic black, parrot green, and translucent tortoiseshell brown. The price lands at roughly 1,999 yuan, around $280 US dollars for the base model, rising to 3,000 yuan, about $420, if you opt for the color-shifting lenses. Compared with Meta's stylish but short-lived Ray-Bans, Xiaomi offers twice the endurance, voice-first controls, and a pay-by-glance party trick. While the company hints that this first release is aimed at the domestic market rather than an immediate global rollout, it's clear the innovation is here. So now, the big question is, will all of these advancements actually make AI more useful, or simply more powerful? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and drop a like if you found this interesting. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.